it does hit home like the last.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
somebody that magnitude.
Yeah, some of these people are just, they're just so inclusive to our growth in life. You're like, it's like for me, and those guys at my age, all you guys.
They're not quite that age.
Well, yeah, not yet. But who remembers the greatest player, the coolest basketball player ever, Dr. J? You couldn't get any cooler than that.
Right.
And
I guess it said, too, that, his father played with them.
Yep,
and so he, grew
he
up around all those people.
Yeah, Magic Johnson, in the early. So he met Magic when he was a little kid. So.
And Raymond Hay was having you say, I saw on CNN they were honoring him and his accomplishments, but in the same breath had the audacity to bring up his past of alleged sexual assault when the king passed today. I thought it was classless and terrible thoughts. Well, and that's kind of what my other subject was about is the media. We know the media, especially when it comes to black people, I don't care how much money you make, how popular you are, famous or whatever, the media is always going to find a way to
slip it in.
You. They just are. So should we be surprised that the white media is honoring Kobe, but they're also
tearing him down?
Why even talk about the rape allegations? Mm-hmm. Why even bring that up? It was a chapter that happened so many moons ago that nobody, I believe that Kobe was 100% innocent. Mm-hmm. Just going out there and say that.
On the record.
But, he was not ever found guilty of any of that kind of stuff. We know that he settled and all of that. Mm-hmm. But that's just what the white media does. They try to put that little asterisk by you. You guys look at somebody like Michael Jackson's been dead over 10 years.
They're still dragging
it
down.
Shows and, Leaving Neverland, all this stuff coming out. Oprah Winfrey right along with him. Mm-hmm. Trying to, what do they say? When a black man dies, they kill him again.
Yes.
The black man is actually killed twice or dies twice, especially when it comes to the media. So, not surprised, but it is very disgusting. And Sydney says, I watched Air Disaster. So he's saying
the Air Disaster. But there's also books on it too. Right. And when I was in the military, in the squadron that I was in, we had to read those books on a constant basis because it does
keep abreast of things.
Yeah, these scenarios can happen and happen again. And I know a lot of you guys don't have an aviation background. And this is what I'm saying. Look at the reports on a lot of major crashes. It's attested to human factors,
right?
And that's just how it is.
And Al says Kobe gear will be a top seller of a long time now. Well, and it already was, especially when he retired. But, I would imagine so. Just a lot of devastated people. Just watching the coverage. I was watching on YouTube and listening on NPR. Just, most people who got up in front of the camera on the mic was just devastated, just bawling. It's just sad, And then, hey, Kevin, you say... if this is a repeat, no, we're live.
Yes,
if this is a repeat, I apologize. All I can say is to the Bryant family and friends, my condolences to you all for your loss. May God bless them for the good deeds in their life and forgive them their bad ones. Death comes like a thief in the night. No man knows the hour or day. So blessed are they that mourn. For they will be comforted, I believe. And that is biblical.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. I mean, definitely prayers for the family, and people who really knew him. Shaq, I read his tweet right before I came on here. He's completely devastated. He called Kobe his brother, and he said he's just at a loss for words for the loss of his brother and his niece, Gigi, Kobe's daughter. He says, I'm sick. So... I'd imagine that's true for a lot of people. And Al says, once they have Kobe Memorial Service at Staples, how about y'all do a podcast from outside the stadium? I mean...
What, with all that traffic? No, just think about it. When Michael Jackson was there, there was just no way. You're even getting close to the doors.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, you're just no way.
And Michi says, right, it's like a backhand compliment. Just sad. Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about Kobe, but remember that. Yeah, it's like... That's just white folks for you. I hate to say it. It's almost like the whole OJ thing. The man has lost his life along with his daughter and 7 other people and want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Sick.
But don't want to talk about grab him by the... and all that
No,
other
not
stuff.
at all. Which he'll be completely won't even get removed.
Right.
Senator's going to say, that was nice, however.
Yeah. I put a tweet up, earlier this morning and I said, why is it that every time Trump says something... Trumpster wants to explain what he really meant.
Right.
It's like, come on, get out of here with all that. He said what he said.
Right. And Al says his rape trial was in 2004. In the 2004 world, give this man and his family some respect. No, absolutely. I mean, it's
alleged.
16, well, he said rape trial.
Yeah, alleged.
Right. Well,
rape.
you know. And
yeah,
then,
I know.
And Sam I Am, what's happening? He says, very sad. Blessings to his family. You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Marcus, you say, oops. I hate when that thing's popping up. You say, it hits on so many levels because we as black people keep taking blows. And every so often we get to be proud and celebrate something great that represents us on purpose. I will cry for Kobe and his family many days to come. Hurting. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, I think that's what it was for me too, Marcus. Honestly, it is a great loss for black people. Now, you know, I've seen people, and I just hope nobody gets home here with that nonsense. I've seen people talk, you know, say he wasn't married to a black one. I've seen it all.
Go ahead.
And like I said, I just wish sometimes people would just exercise some common sense, some compassion, some civility. You just like, you know, you want to disqualify a person because they didn't live life the way you live life. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, we don't know how you live life because you're not on the national spotlight. So we don't get to see all of your mistakes and, you know, all the things that would be negative, I guess, if you will. But yeah, I'm with you, Marcus. It is a loss for black people. Mm-hmm. You know, he, as they would say, was a credit to the race.
Can I say this? And I want to go on record saying this. Mark it today, the day that Kobe passed. Speculating. Just mark it today. This is another thing. Because it seems like whenever one of our greats die, Nipsey Hussle and stuff like that, we find out that behind the scenes, they were making moves that somebody or something didn't want to happen.
Yeah, I was talking to my older brother about it, and I haven't talked to my younger brother, who's a huge sports fan. But I was talking to my older brother, and he says, wow, he was doing a lot of investing and stuff, you know. And he said, and this is what he said before we knew anything. He said he's probably, you know, maybe looking for investments. Maybe that's why he's so, you know.
Or maybe he had something that somebody, you know what I mean? He, you know, jumped on it before.
Yeah, and I'm sure, you know, because I've seen people, I haven't seen the conspiracy theories myself, but I've heard people saying, oh my God, now people are talking about conspiracy theories. But to your point, but something else always does come out.
It comes out later on. Like I said, Nipsey Hussle, he had...
Right. Yeah, everybody, most people who didn't know of him thought, oh, he's just a rapper.
Right.
But then when you hear about all the philanthropy
he was doing in the community.
Yes, in the community, you know, that, you know, took him.
And it's not beyond pale to believe that this isn't a coincidence. I mean, the history has shown that accidents have happened to Martin Luther King is assassinated, Malcolm X is assassinated, Robert Kennedy is assassinated. All these people, things happen to them. And these are the people that were the spokesmen or the Black Panthers, you know, are just eradicated. And this isn't a coincidence to me. You know? I'm not saying this is, but I'm just saying later on.
I'm sure, you know, we'll learn more, right? And Kevin says, you that are Africans born in America know the why. The real question is, when will Africans born in America develop a means of intentionally ignoring white media hype? We must be the honor to our heroes, and that's really what I wanted to talk about. So maybe we'll get into that a little bit too, because that was
media
was talking about the media, and then this happened. I was like, I don't feel like talking about that now, you know. And Al says, wouldn't it be gangster if Brother Farrakhan did the eulogy? Wouldn't it be? And then Sydney says they gave Scully hell too.
Oh yeah.
And he also said, I read the Tyler's tweet. Just stop it. So I guess Trump tweeted something about about Kobe. And then Kevin, you say, replying to Sydney, that doesn't make it right, nor should this tragedy be reduced to a discussion by some white media. No more about that, please. Well, no, I mean, yeah, we know how the white media gets down. I'm surprised at this point that we're surprised. You know, we're surprised that the white media shows its true colors, really. You know, I'm not surprised. As a matter of fact, when I heard that Kobe had passed, I just knew somewhere somebody was going to make that the issue, right? And so I don't see any more comments about Kobe, but I will definitely address it. We could keep talking about it, but the thing that I wanted to talk about, and forgive me, I'm going to be all over the place, if you will, but it did have to do with the media. And so I was actually having a conversation with Al on Friday, You guys have probably heard about the explosion that happened in Houston. You didn't hear about it? A chemical plant exploded.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Yeah, in Houston, 2 people died, but I guess within a 2-mile radius, if I'm not mistaken, over 200 homes were impacted. Some of them just flat out destroyed due to the explosion. And so Al was like, my cousin is in as a black neighborhood that was also affected. Was in a black neighborhood, and they thought maybe some gunshots or stuff were going off. So that neighborhood was greatly impacted as well. But he says on the news, you only hear about the white neighborhood. You would only think that the white neighborhood was affected. And he says, well, why is that? And I said, there's a whole host of reasons. Because for one, we don't own the media, so we can't really tell our stories the way we need to tell it. And I said the other thing is, are we really that interested? And I know that we are interested, so I'm not saying that. I'm talking about black people in general. Are we really that interested that a black neighborhood was affected by the explosion, right? And the other part of that is, so I'm not. That's kind of a rhetorical, if you will. But the other part of that is the white media knows that we're not really that interested. They know what captivates us, and I'm not saying all of us, but the us that is portrayed by the media. Those of us who are going cuckoo for Popeye chicken sandwiches and that kind of stuff, we wholeheartedly, or maybe half-heartedly, love to be entertained. A lot of us spent, and I was one of them, so I will plead guilty to that, spent a lot of time talking about Tyler Perry's garbage. The movie he produced and put on Netflix last week was total garbage to me. So, which movie was Fall from Grace.
Oh, okay, yeah, I heard about that.
So a lot of us spent time talking about things that don't really matter, and so the media is probably like, they probably never even gave it a second thought to talk about. Well, because I actually read about it, so I did see they did mention it's Carverdale. I think that's how you say it. In Houston, it's a black neighborhood. They gave it a mention there, but the national media didn't talk about it. So it's because we don't own it. We own less than 3%, and we're not that interested, about it. So I told Al, I said, what you should do, and the people, your cousin, the people who are affected by this explosion should come out and make a video. Go live and say, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. This is what happened. I know you guys aren't going to hear about it on the national news.
This is the real story.
Any of that kind of stuff. But this is what really happened, because a lot of people said their windows were busted out. The garage doors caved in. One lady said her roof completely fell. So these houses weren't just like shaken. A lot of them were destroyed. And so imagine, some of the houses in this black neighborhood. I mean, I don't know if what the house conditions were like, but I'm sure they sustained just as much damage. But we, as Kevin said, we need to stop relying on the white media to tell our stories. We're more than capable of doing it. So like with Al, his cousin told him, his cousin should have got on live or made a video and told everybody else about it.
Yeah, and referencing back to Kobe Bryant, I mean, a lot of people took off on their cell phones, if you guys saw in the news media, where they were showing where the smoke was coming off the hill. So that, it's just things like that. Right. That you can actually tell people what's actually going on. Tell the story. And so Al says the NBA Network said Kobe was working on a financial freedom and savings symposium for
the draft prospects.
See what I'm talking about?
So, yeah, he was actually doing quite a bit of things. And I guess he wanted to continue doing the storytelling, he won the Oscar for. He was really wanting to have a big impact, a positive impact on children. And Cindy says you were replying to, so Kevin, you were referring to Al's comment. So I puzzled you why I'm puzzled why you referenced me. Okay, so maybe it was a big misunderstanding. And Kevin, you also say, excellent point, that we Africans born in Americans do not have an African-focused outlet for our news and information that informs and arms us with a means to balance and focus our African energy towards, you say you started a nice platform. Now, what would it take to develop your show into a news media?
It takes a lot of money, because you got to remember, this is the white man's world, and anything that rises up, they will destroy or keep you out of the loop. But, Kevin, I'm going to tell you this. We are part of a group known as the New Black Media. And if you go on YouTube, you'll see a bunch of channels that have...
The African Diaspora Network channel, I think it's called, with Phil Scott. he talks about the stuff all the time,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I like Phil. Like I know there's a Tariq Nasheed, and I know there's Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I know there's
Pressure Truth X.
I know all those people out there. But I'm going to tell you guys, I am I love Phil. I tell Phil all the time. You probably see me tell him on Twitter.
Yes, I do. I do.
love Phil. You know. But Phil is one of those people who's very balanced. Like, he gives you the story, and he don't give you that, you know, well, you know, I think, he says, nah, you know, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
You know, if it's some dreadlock stuff or white people touch your hair, don't let them touch your hair.
Yeah.
They're trying to steal your energy.
Well, what I like about Phil is he uses logic. Just basic
he uses
logic. Common sense.
Yes. So there's a lot of people telling our story, but, you know, unfortunately, we have been so brainwashed
We're
that
not
if it's
twerking.
not coming, if it's not coming from white people, then how do we know it's true?
It's not true, right? It's
if a white source didn't tell you, then I'm a question because, you know, I don't really know how true that. Like, you know, like I said, I love Abdullah. We've been friends a long time on Facebook, but how do we know why we can't be telling the truth?
Right.
You know, but had it been some white people sitting here, would you have taken what we were saying more seriously, if you will? I don't know. You know. But as far as your comment about making it to a news type of situation, we would love to do that. There's a lot of platforms,
and that's what we're trying to do.
It
build
costs
a network,
money, though,
yeah.
you know?
But in the meantime, we're using YouTube to form a network because you have the old black media, your roly-poly Martins, and all these people that tell you, oh, vote for Kamala, vote for this person, look at Sororo, let me show you how to buck bounce, all that stupid stuff. And isn't telling you the real deal about, wait, maybe you should look at this candidate. You've been voting for this candidate, but this guy's going to give you $1,000 a month.
Right, or use your own mind. And if you guys are in the watch parties, I'm sorry, please come over here and comment so I can see. So, yeah, you know, and this is why I really love the format that we have here, is because like, you guys go on a lot of people's live, and I'm not trying to shade anybody else's live, but they don't talk to you. They don't consider your comment. Like, I can't learn, and Donovan can't learn just from ourselves. We can, but when you open it up to, you know, Facebook Live and you actually read and consider what everybody else is saying, then we learn too. And everybody learns. And so
it's an exchange of ideas.
It's an exchange of ideas, a conversation. Right. So, but we would love to do that. And
we're
Marcus,
working on it.
Yes. And Marcus says sometimes we can't control what happens to us, but for us who can drive and lay cell phones down, for those of us who can avoid certain things, please do better because it's one shot. It's a one-shot deal. Yeah. Absolutely. Instead of, to Donovan's earlier point, posting stuff about nonsense, people twerking, and people fighting
thousands of views.
Yeah.
You know, just over the silliness.
I can't tell y'all how many times I will go across my live, or not my live, but my news feed or Facebook feed or whatever, and I'll see people posting videos of young girls even twerking and, you know.
Stripper vlog.
Just, and I'm like, out of all the stuff that you could post about, you post about this?
In our community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys, we are 12 years away from zero wealth. And this is the kind of stuff that gets information out, the silliness.
Right.
You know,
right.
But if we're telling them about stocks, if we're telling them about this, gets no views, gets no play, it's not sexy enough.
Right.
You know?
And we refuse, like we'll do differently, but we refuse to cheapen what we do.
Right.
For views. If it's one person watching, then we've done our job. But yeah, we want to always remain, I mean, we get silly a lot, you know, but we want to remain reputable, if you will.
All right. A good example. Just last Thursday, I was finally able to own one piece of Amazon stock.
Big baller!
One stock, one share, $1,900. And the stock is going this way right now because of what Trump is doing. All the nonsense that's going.
Jeff Bezos' phone was hacked by
Iran,
the Crown
or whatever.
Prince.
And Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, $1,900 for one share. I remember when Amazon was $3. And so when we were on the show and we say, like right now, there's $2 Aurora stock. People are buying that stock.
I know I am.
Like water, even though it's going this way right now.
Yep.
But the more you get while it's low, and how many times have we said that? And these rich people have said, you buy low.
Yep. And sell high.
And you sell high. You don't buy it when it's high.
Right.
You know, so. And
I'm assuming $1,900 is reasonable for that. I mean.
Well, that's what it's going for.
Right. So if it goes up, which it probably will.
It's going to go up because the norm now, when we were coming up, especially D in the 1920s, we shop, but now online shopping is normal now. Everybody's, Amazon, I'm going to get this. Walmart's delivering. Everybody's delivering now. So it's going to go back up.
Right. And so Kevin, he said, oops, I responded to Cindy, I'm an old guy, so I think he's apologizing to you. And Al says the majority of those homes in the neighborhood are over at least 30 years old. So, yeah, they really sustained some damage. And we also know, in black communities, just a fact, a lot of people, of us, I should say, are not able to bounce back from a big devastation like that. Your house is dilapidated, those of us who've ever had homeowners insurance and all
they
of
don't
that,
want to pay. Look at the people that happened in New Orleans and the Gulf Coast area.
Right.
They're like, that's water damage. We didn't cover that.
An explosion, well, we didn't, that's not in the clause.
That's not in the clause, right.
Right, so... gosh, I mean, I guess...
Or the explosion didn't even happen in your home, so we don't have to cover it.
Exactly, right. All that. So, yeah, it is probably more devastating to a black community,
Black community, absolutely.
And Cindy says, I didn't even bother watching the Tyler Perry movie. I did not think it offered enough substance value for me to watch.
He was probably downgrading black men again, so
he did give... black men another black eye.
Another black eye.
He did.
Good.
And I watched it because somebody asked me to. I thought maybe I'd talk about it. I was like, nah, I ain't talking about that. I talked about it on Facebook, but it was awful. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. It was awful.
It was awful.
Terrible.
Okay.
And then Cindy says, Kevin, we cool. And then Kevin says, I genuinely love the aspect of your forum. You definitely keep all parties connected. I personally feel better for your immediate feedback as well as the other comments. Great method. Yeah, I think... like I said, I don't like to watch people, unless they're just very fascinating, but I don't like to watch people just talk. Like, are you ever interested in getting another perspective?
Right.
Because there's a lot of people on the comments that have great things to say. I mean, it might be telling you something you didn't know.
Well, story time, everybody. Let me tell you. It took me over a year to get this woman to come out of her house and to do this show, because I said, you got a message that need to go out there. That's why I got all copyright on her contract. So when you get to Houston,
on my back.
So if you get down here in Houston, I see you on Phil's show. I need to be compensated. But no, me and Dee been friends for a while, so I would go on her live and think, wow, she's speaking some real stuff here. Whatever. And I said, come on. And she was like, nah, I don't want to do it. Right. Finally, one day she said, you know what?
All right, Donovan.
I'm going to do it because...
Now I got to put... when I was doing it at home, I didn't have to put no pants on. So that means I had to come outside and put some pants on.
Right. And we had... And again, if you guys are watching the show, all the shows are archived on YouTube. So you can go there and go back and, see all the shows and what we've been talking about.
Right.
It's and your show grew. You have over, 1,000?
What? On YouTube?
On YouTube, just on YouTube.
Almost. It comes and goes.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Anyway, and Kevin says, as a replying to Cindy, absolutely, especially after the way you phrased your comment about the Tyler Perry movie. And what's happening, Jonelle? What's going on with you?
Yes.
And Al says...
Jonelle sent me to look at that one video, the cartoon of the YouTube thing.
Oh, okay,
He wants me to look at it.
Okay, we'll look at that. And Al says, Kobe was totally focused and determined individual. During his trial hearings, he would fly out after and play that night. Yes, I remember that. Oops.
Oh, we ain't missing the playoffs, dog. You got
okay. And he said the same season he led the Lakers to the finals against Detroit. Didn't miss a beat. Damn, Mamba, you never gave up despite any circumstances. Much respect. Absolutely. And that, like you guys are both saying, his work ethics was unmatched.
I mean, and to me, that's the difference now between a lot of these newer athletes versus Kobe was kind of like that old school because he learned from his dad.
Yeah, he was right on the tail end of the old school.
The old school thing.
Yes.
And it's like,
yes.
How do you miss free throws? No, I'm not talking about Shaq and center because they always did that.
Yeah.
But he was like, Kobe would take 1,000 shots in a practice and then stay afterwards and take another 1,000. I mean,
he was a beast.
Yeah, just unbelievable. Just.
And I can be honest with you guys, I still can't believe that we are here talking about that he has died.
Yeah, you would have thought that we would have been like, okay, we're going to go before this young guy. I mean, he has a few, we have a few years on him.
Yeah, we got a few years on him. Not much, but, it is really, it's surreal,
Well, and to me, what's surreal is, he still has minor children. That's what's surreal to
and one went with him. Right. Like I said, I just, boy, I tell you.
I can only imagine what Vanessa is going through right now.
Yeah, it's just, man.
Vanessa, please, like I said, our condolences. I mean, that is just...
Yeah, and I mean, it just really thought about, like, damn, we really here sitting about talking about, Kobe has died.
Yeah.
Just like, golly.
Yeah, because, I was waiting for that. Like I said, the statue's coming up at Staples Center. That's when the next time you're going to see him and his family. And by the way, Kobe is one of the only NBA athletes to have both his numbers retired by the same team. That's never happened before, So, because they couldn't decide, well, is he going to go out in his 24 or 8? No, they said just
retire them both.
Both. Just do both.
Yeah, so it really is. It's just golly. And Al, Jack joke of the day. What did the drummer name his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2.
Anna 1, Anna 2, Anna 1. Did you get it?
I get it.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, godly, But anyway, and we'll continue to talk about Kobe.
Wait, let me ask you this, because this is your show. If you had to give advice based on this young man passing, about just in general to people, what advice would you give them about life in general? Because
and I would take my own advice too is just live life. That's really the only thing I can say. Just live life. Don't wait. Like, because a lot of times, I think a lot of us don't live life, and it's just me being a little philosophical here. I think a lot of us don't live life because we think
tomorrow.
No, I think we got to really go out there and be superstars and make this huge mark on the world. And really, that's up to you if you do that.
You can do that.
But as I said earlier, I mean, it could really just mean, hey, I want to be able to go to the park every day. Some people won't do that. It's something they think about. I really would love to just go to the park every day and just sit, and just chill. But they won't take the necessary steps to doing it, right? And so I think that really, it would behoove all of us to just do what it is you want to do. Because I always talk about this. The last thing I want to be is an old lady sitting in my rocking chair,
shoulda, coulda, woulda,
and saying shoulda, coulda, woulda. If only I would have. Oh, what it would have cost me if I would have just did it, And so I decided a long time ago that I did not want to live my life, once I got older, to wonder what could have been.
Right, because remember, you were telling me, like, one of the places where you're like, I want to go to Africa. I was like, well, let's just go. And we did it. Right,
just, and my mom used to always say the only thing that's stopping you is you.
Exactly.
A lot of times,
all the excuses.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have the money. And we know it takes money to do stuff. Yeah, but just go toward the goal of getting there. Like, take one step. You don't have the money to go to Africa. Save up for a passport.
Right.
And just, because the universe...
Half of the battle. Help yourself get to the goal.
Because one of my favorite books by Paulo Coelho, I talk about this all the time, The Alchemist, it says the universe conspires with you to get you the desires of your heart. So a lot of times, all we have, and you guys follow the Bible, I talk about this a lot too, all you have to have is the faith of a mustard seed. Right. Just believe that you can do it, see yourself doing those things, and go toward doing it now. Are you going to be able to go to Africa overnight if you got $2 in your bank account? No. But I'll tell you guys this, and you guys, I never told you this, we kind of roundabout did, but when I went to Africa, I didn't pay for the bulk of it. Donovan did. And, he was like, can you go or not?
That's it. That was the question. That was
Can you go or not? And I'm like, well, yeah, but are you going or not? Well, and not only did I go, he gifted my daughter. He gifted my daughter the gift of going to Africa, something we always wanted to do.
And you guys did it together.
And we did it together.
That's it.
Thanks to Donovan.
Not only did we go to Africa, we ended up going to the Seychelles.
Went to the Seychelles.
Your first outing, your big outing, you hit the two big spots.
We went to Abu Dhabi, but we stepped out and then we stepped back in because it was hot. So the point that I'm making is a lot of times we don't get to do what we want to do. You know why? Because we ask why.
Right.
Or how.
How.
And we never get past that point. We never get past the point of, I want to do this. We always get stuck on I want to do it, but. And we never get past the but. We never add on the other sentence to the but. But you know what? I'm going to go anyway.
Right.
I don't know how I'm going. I don't know how I'm getting it, but I am going.
Right.
On said date, I will be there.
And don't get me wrong. I'm glad you paraphrased that gifting. Because it really wasn't a gift. You guys don't understand. Me and Dee live about without traffic, 15 minutes apart.
Right.
15
right.
minutes apart. So every time you see this show, she has to get dressed, get in her car, come up here, deal with the traffic, do the show, and then go back and do what she's got to do. And I say this all the time. I call it roaching or whatever the deal is. I can't, let's say, pay her $20,000 a week. But I said, you know what?
Yes, you can. You're balling.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm going to see right. But anyway, my point is, this is what we do to each other. I said, well, hey, if she's doing this, and I like to do the production and, do all the stuff like that, and I know she has a good platform, and I said, what's fair is to do this for her. And it's a mutual give and take. And you got a lot of takers out there, which is unfortunate, and we take from each other, and we're not, we just dog each other out. But it was a mutual thing. So, how can I have this woman take her time, because time is money, and just throw it out there and not reciprocate and say, hey, da-da-da-da. And of course, because she's got a man, I said, I called out and I said, hey, is this going to be okay? Blah, blah, blah. We're good. Al was like, yeah, no, everything's good, whatever. So, where are we going next, Dave? Our next big Cuba. That's
Cuba.
Our next thing, because those long trips knocks D out. So I said, if we're going to go to the Caribbean, let's go to Cuba.
Going to Cuba.
And her brother has already gone, so we already have we have some insight to do that. So we in this lifetime, what I want to do is stuff that is outside of the box, so that I don't have to look back as an 80-year-old man,
absolutely,
and say, shoulda, coulda,
it just one of my favorite quotes, I'm gonna get you guys' comments, is by Richard Branson. He owns Virgin everything.
Virgin Atlantic, Virgin whatever, Australia, all that.
He says, and I tell this to everybody, okay? He says, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity and you don't know how to do it or what it is, just say yes and learn how to do it anyway. Just do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Because a lot of people miss out on stuff because it's like, oh, well, I would, but I can't because my job, because my mama, because of this. I ain't never, this, how am I going to? And then by that time you get through making all those excuses, somebody else already did what it is you want.
Somebody's already taken your seat. Exactly. Somebody has already taken your seat.
Okay.
Yep.
So Al, you say the Doc Rivers interview is a very tough watch.
Tough watch, dog.
Oh my God, it was.
Did you talk to Al about our trip?
I did.
Okay, he's going.
He's
going. It's right there. It's right there near Houston.
He said I would, but
no, we're going to work on him.
You're right.
We're going to work on him. He's gone.
You're right. And John Nelson's blessings, love, healing, and peace to Kobe family. I mean, I truly don't think his passing is a coincidence, as predicted on 2 cartoons. One being The Simpsons. Look it up. Continue to live life in truth and inspire, as Kobe stated in the quote. Absolutely.
Mamba out.
Yep.
That's it.
That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And then you also say, right, Queen, live your life to the fullest. Absolutely. And Kevin, you say, I just shared a song from my youth with a young friend who just lost his cousin to murder. Guess what song? Okay, I will tell you. Blood, sweat, and tears. When I die, there will be one child born in this world to carry on. Greatness doesn't really die. It passes on. I love that. And that is really true. Who was it that said? I can't remember who it said. It's going to bug me. It said you can't kill the man. I mean, you can kill the man, but you can't kill his ideas. You can't kill the legacy and the things that he put out there. I can't remember who it was. Yeah,
so, like when they talk about basketball legends, that's it.
Right.
He's one. There's no doubt. He is one.
I heard a reporter say, and I think this is a very beautiful tribute that he said, Kobe belongs on the Mount Rushmore of the greatest players to ever play.
Ever do it.
Yeah, he said he definitely belongs there. Jonelle says Kobe lived his dream because he worked his dream and willed it. So despite all odds, absolutely. And I think that's somebody else was saying that everything he wanted to do, he just made no excuses not to do it.
And the funny thing is, that's kind of how I am.
Yeah, Donovan. Yeah, you definitely are that way.
You can't tell me I'm going to do what I got to do.
Donovan, one thing I will say about Donovan, he says, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
End of story. And he does. And I'll be like, okay, let me watch this dude, because that's another thing too. They say, you should hang around people who are doing what you want to do and who are doing a better job at it. Because it's nice to hang around people who are kind of where you are. No, those are your homies.
Right.
But if you're aspiring to be greater, then hang around people who are already doing it. And, other than me and Donovan being friends. That's why I like hanging out with Donovan. And anybody who knows me, I don't hang out with a lot of people at all.
Antisocial.
I don't know if I'm antisocial.
Yeah.
I just don't like hanging out with a bunch of people because a lot of people comes drama.
Yeah. That's true.
But I know tons of people. But Donovan is probably one of the most. He's probably the most person I spend the most time with.
Outside of Al.
And with my friend Sharon, we go walking 4 times a week. But it's probably the one person I spend the most time with.
Yeah, and it's funny because like we did that show last week or the week before last. People are like, somebody made a comment like, "You guys are always together." I was like, "Yeah." So we've been friends for years.
It's my homie.
But like I said, that determination. When they started the show, now right now what you guys are seeing, we are in the home studio, the garage.
Right, we're at the OG studio.
We're in the OG studio. But I had said, wasn't I talking about I'm going to go rent a place that we can go do the thing? And we did it.
For the whole year. And
it was a nice big, venue.
Nice,
and,
nice.
it's.
We'll have to show you the next time we're there.
We're going to work it out.
And Marcus says, please, we must talk to our kids and those around us who will hide hurt like this because they are afraid to share. You might not feel it like they do, but value their pain and their hurt. Heroes are real for our kids, and they ain't got many that deserve the title. Absolutely. Especially our children. A lot of people, looked up to Kobe. Is one of the greats. So no, I absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah, but as a father, I always told my sons, I'm your hero. If you can't look to me first, anybody else is, you can admire that, but I'm your hero because this is what I'm doing.
Right. So. No, yeah. But yeah, Kobe definitely impacted a lot of people.
Yeah, he did.
And Al says, Kobe showed the world never to be fucking lazy with excuses on your job. Always work harder than your coworkers. Absolutely. And that he did. Yeah. And Kevin says, Donovan, can you see all the love we have given you? If not, then much love to you, brother. Yes. I hope to be like you one day. You and me both, right? And Jonelle says, wow.
Thank you. Like I said, look, it didn't come easy, brother.
Okay.
It didn't come easy. A lot of maturity and again, hanging around people that are positive. I mean, I don't have any. I try to keep away from the people that are doing negative things. They'll tell you, you'll see me with a Kool-Aid. I still drink Kool-Aid. I'm very down to. And
one thing I said about Donovan, because Donovan's been gone for a long time, traveling the world in the military, 24 years. So when he came back. And after his divorce, unfortunately, we really started to hang out. And so during the time when he came back, he decided to run for city council. And so he contacted me and said, hey, would you be my campaign manager? Mm-hmm. So we went out to, what's her name? Victoria Baca's thing.
Yes.
So this the lady he was running
I almost got beat up.
Yeah.
She left it.
No, the lady he was running against, so she was having a campaign kickoff, and Donovan was like, let's go. I was like, are you sure? Because, she doesn't like you. So anyway, we decided to go. And they wouldn't let us in. It just so happens I happened to get something in my eye. Mm-hmm. So I had to go to the bathroom. It was and then Donna was like, you left me. They wouldn't let me in. I said, dude, I had something in my eye. I had to go, take care of it. So we're sitting at the bar drinking sodas. And the lady's campaign manager comes up to us. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, she doesn't want you here because you are... you're a threat to her.
Right, even though I'm a constituent.
She said something crazy. Mm-hmm. And so I came unglued because I heard what she was saying to Donovan. Mm-hmm. What she was saying is because you a black man, you are a threat. And I said, excuse me. I said, do you care to clarify what you mean? I said, what do you mean she's afraid of him? I said, well, has he done anything to her to be afraid of him? She goes, no. I said, well, because when I hear you say that, I hear you saying something else because he's a black man, he's automatically a threat. I said, we here in the bar drinking a soda.
Right.
Because she talking about putting aside and all this stuff.
Her establishment.
And Donovan was like, after the lady left, he said, damn. Yeah. Because he never saw that side of me. But I was like, oh, hell no. You're going to back up off my friend, with your nonsense. And, like, he's supposed to run out of there because this lady is scared of him. Like, get out of here. We're tired of that narrative about black men.
Right. And so not to make a scene, there was a homeless lady that came in that was hungry. And so I said, hey, just go over there and tell them you're here for the thing and they'll feed you. Yeah. So we directed all the homeless into the establishment.
And Al says Kobe funded the LA Spark. Funded there, so he bought them
the shoes. Yes,
yeah. They said he was a big WNBA fan.
He was a lot of the games. A lot of the games.
That he actually attended those games more than he did any other type of game.
Remember, he's got daughters. See, the man knew what he's doing,
and he said he loved being in a house full of women.
Me too.
We know.
Me too.
And Cindy says, "Can you go to Cuba?" Well, yes.
Yeah.
My brother's gone, and he said there's a way to do
Yeah,
it, which you have to mark on the form.
The Trump administration recently rescinded what the Obama administration had let.
Yeah.
So it's a certain declaration you got to do.
Yeah.
You can't spend money in military-owned hotels and all this other stuff. But
there's a certain thing I'm saying you got to mark on the form as to why you're going over there.
Yeah, and you got to like fund like the locals in support of the Cuba people.
That's what he said.
Something like that.
So Donovan know what he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going over there. Really want to learn more about Che Guevara. I really like him.
And Deanna needs to get on our B&B thing and whatever she's going to do on
And
it.
Al says, I think Kobe matured to a higher level when he went from a fro to a fade, just like Luda went from braids to a fade. Silly. I actually like that Afrocentric hairstyle he had.
Yeah, but do you guys remember when Dwight Howard was on the Lakers for the first time and, he had gone to the Rockets and, they had a little beef and Kobe was like calling him soft? I mean, that's the kind of... he was like trying to show him like this is how you win a championship. You can't be out here talking all this.
What was the other cat? The white guy. Oh gosh, his name starts with a yes.
Paul
they
Gasol.
said that he really had to dig into him too. They told him to tap into. He wanted him to be a black swan and not a white swan, like the killer instinct. And they said him talking to him like that, they believe that helped
his game
help them win, right? And let's see, Jonelle says 100% beautiful. Make it happen should be black people's way because we make it happen anyway. Our praise is due to Allah. Absolutely,
Amen.
just do it. Like they say, just freaking do it. Like people come to me all the time and they say, "Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this." I'm like, "What are you telling me for? Just do it." My daughter is she's a creative like me, if you will. And so she has all these ideas, and
mad
what I always
scientist.
Say, do it.
Yep, mad
Just
scientist.
do it. So now she's doing her own podcast. And she's committed to doing it. Thanks to Donovan.
Right.
Donovan has
using the resources. I'm not going to help her do nothing, no silliness stuff, but that's going to help the community.
Right.
So
right.
And her podcast is very interesting.
So I hear.
It's very interesting. So tune in.
Like,
tune in.
Word. And Al says the only place I'm going is to Winco and Magic Mountain. I can't stand him. And Jonelle says honest and real is rare. Friends is family, not BS. No, absolutely.
Exactly.
And Donovan is my dude.
Yep.
And Sydney says greetings. A debate. Who started?
Donovan is cheap though. Thrifty.
Greetings. A debate. Who start? Note of Kobe Bryant being the greatest of all time, to be compared to Michael Jordan, who I believe patterned his game after. Yes, so they said that's who Kobe was in pursuit of, was Michael Jordan, and he was fortunate to actually be able to play against him. What was in an All-Star game
and during regular season too.
Yeah, but he was just very fortunate to. He considered that a blessing to be able to play with somebody he admired, so dearly.
Yeah.
So that's golly. Again, it's just like wow.
Yep, he came up one ring short, but that's okay.
Right, and then you said Donovan is cheap.
Thrifty.
Donovan is not. He's very thrifty. Donovan is very thrifty. So I wouldn't say cheap
because when it's time to spend.
Okay, there's a difference between being cheap and thrifty. Donovan is very thrifty.
Everybody knew me in South Africa.
Okay. Drinks for everybody.
Yes. Everybody to the penthouse.
Right. Okay. No.
I mean, when it's time to have fun, I like to have fun. So.
Yeah. Donovan is thrifty in a way that he has almost single-handedly refurbished his whole house. Yeah. He had help here and there, but like the major stuff, this dude, doing what do you call it? The panels on the house.
That siding, and right now you got wood over here that I cut and just stuff that I do.
I came over one day, the damn kitchen was gone. I was like, what happened to the kitchen? He's like, I ripped it out. Okay.
It saved me $8,000.
Right, he did it himself.
But you got to remember, I do stuff like that because I was a mechanic, so I have the skill. So it's like, why pay somebody to do something I can do myself?
Right. Putting up, what is that, a pergola?
Yeah, we're putting a pergola. I put in the new windows. Me and my neighbor, and we were out there drinking beer. We're just doing what we got to do.
Right.
So
that's how he's thrifty,
Yeah.
right? And Al, you say, I like that Kobe had a small circle and was very mature for his age.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't hang out at clubs at all. After the game, he went home to his family or to the gym to work on his game. And that's what they said, too.
Yeah.
I guess when he was playing, at the height of being a Laker, a lot of them would give him a hard time because he wouldn't hang out with them.
Right.
They thought he was, all of that. And for those of you guys on the podcast, thank you so much for being here. We will talk to you guys on Friday.
See you then.
Yeah, so they said, I guess he got a reputation for thinking he was better than everybody.